It just hit me. I'm getting ready to read our mission statement for the garden. So please don't throw anything at me, nor get up and walk away. Today we work on the second piece of a 3-week series talking about our mission, our vision, and our values. And today we're focusing on vision, or on mission, and the mission of the garden. Our goal in this little series is at the end of this, number one, that gardeners know and maybe even memorize our vision, mission, and values. And the second is to not only explore our communal vision, but indeed, what's your vision? What are you called to? Why are you here? And why do you have life and breath and movement in this world? So let's go ahead and start by engaging in the mission and vision statement together. We'll start with the vision. And you ready? Come on, kids. Our vision is that people experience God wherever they are. I like that. Our mission is to engage all in the quest to know and share the unconditional love of God. I like that. How fitting it is that in our mission statement there is the word indeed quest. Quest. We are on a quest and we are on a mission. Our mission is to engage all in the quest to know and share the unconditional love of God for all people. I have to do actions in order to memorize things. I hope that perhaps you'll consider memorizing that as well. To engage all in the quest to know and to share the unconditional love of God. You know, throughout history, people have moved out on a quest to seek to hear the voice of God through angels, through prophets, through voices, through their inner being. Muhammad left the ordinary life, friends, at the age of 40 on a spiritual quest. And when he was out on this retreat, an angel Gabriel, came to him and simply said to him, recite. And Muhammad left that place, went forth, and recited in such a way that those thoughts are found in the Quran, and he went on to find Islam. Buddha left the comforts of a pretty exciting, nice lifestyle. His parents were very, very wealthy. He was a very wealthy man, and he left all of that comfort to go out and sit underneath the Bodhi tree, where he sat and sat and sat until he found enlightenment. Now, those are two really incredible quest stories, aren't they? The third quest story I have is a little bit different. It's about the prophet Isaiah, found in the Old Testament. And the first 5 chapters of Isaiah, what happens in those first 5 chapters is we learn that the community is an absolute mess. It's an absolute mess. There's nothing going right. People are behaving in poor ways, and God is trying to get through to them in some way. If it gives every reason why you would not want to be part of this community. But when he gets to chapter 6, this is what we refer to as Isaiah's call. After he learns all of this messy stuff is going on in this community, he simply says, "Here I am, send me." Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? Who will go for us into this mess?" Isaiah says, "Here I am, send me." There's something important about all 3 of these stories. First of all, people were willing to step out of the ordinary to find the extraordinary. And the second is these missionaries, because essentially they're all missionaries, were willing to surrender their will and their desire and to be available to something greater than themselves. This, my friends, is Ben Sanders. Maybe you've seen Ben Sanders. In 2004, Ben was the youngest person ever to ski solo to the North Pole. In 2013 and 2014, he went with a friend on a walk, but not just any walk. They walked the coast of Antarctica from the South Pole and back again. That's about 1,800 miles, my friends, in 105 days. To put it in perspective, that's 69 marathons with the average wind chill at 70 below. In a recent TED Talk, he talked about how he endured that adventure, pushing the limits of his body and arriving at the South Pole, Amundsen Scott Station. And there he had a hot shower and a good meal, and he realized he had reached his goal. But it was only half the goal. They still had 900 miles to go because he wanted to set a record. So he continued on his quest, on his mission. Before he left, he wrote this for a paper. He said, "Inspiration and growth only come from adversity and from challenge, from stepping away from what's comfortable and familiar and stepping into the unknown." About 20 years ago, there were a group of people that stepped into the unknown. Linda McCoy talked about it last weekend. She and this group of trekkers went out on their own adventure to create a place where everyone was welcome, where no previous experience was needed, a garden, if you will, a garden for people to be able to consider how much God loved them, and then also to consider how they could share that love with other people. They envisioned a community where there was great diversity, where the secular and the sacred came together in a way that there was no longer them and me and us, but instead all. A wonderful mission, a wonderful quest, and a wonderful adventure. Job well done, founding gardeners. Well, friends, that was then, and this is now. We, like Sanders, are only halfway on the journey. We still have another 900 miles to go of this 1,800-mile journey. We, like Linda said last weekend, are only on the landing of this stairway of faith, never really being clear about where it will lead us. I don't know about you, but I've had a good meal, or 2 or 8. I've had a nice hot shower, and now it's time to get back to it. Now, I would like to share with you right now that the second half of Saunders' journey was just easy going and easy and fantastic and amazing, but that was not the case. He noted that for many years he had written glib statements like that one I just showed you, writing about pushing human limits and the endurance of the human spirit. But after he finished that 1,800-mile journey, he said, pushing the limits of endurance is a very frightening place to be. Battling hypothermia, running out of food, fighting low blood sugar, not really being sure that you can take a next step, that's frightening. That's scary, especially when you're only halfway through the journey. When he did finish the journey, he said this. He said it was somewhat anticlimactic. Here he had reached this goal he had been planning on for all his adult life, and well, he still hasn't quite figured out what reaching that goal means. He said this, and I quote, that I'm standing here telling you a story is proof that we all can accomplish great things through ambition, through passion, through sheer stubbornness, by refusing to quit, that if you dream something hard enough, as Sting says, it does indeed come to pass. But I'm also standing here saying to you, you know what? That cliche about the journey being more important than the destination, there is something to that. The closer I got to my finish line, that rubbly, rocky coast of Ross Island, the more I started to realize that the biggest lesson that this very long, very hard walk might be teaching me is that happiness is not found at a finish line. That for us humans, the perfection that so many of us seem to dream of might never be truly attainable. And that if we can't be content here, now, today, on our journeys amidst the mess and the striving that we all inhabit, the half loops, the half-finished to-do lists, the I could do better next times, then we may never really feel it. As we are halfway on this journey, my friends, I think it's an important lesson to realize that it's the love unfolding through the process that matters most. It's how we engage with one another as individuals and as a community of faith. It comes with each mess, the to-do list, the carpool, the trips to Florida, the sobriety, the relapse, the recovery, the marriage, the divorce, the job, the loss of a job, the retirement. It comes with visioning at the garden. It comes with creating through the garden. It comes with making good choices and making bad mistakes. You know, I think Isaiah was really onto something. He was handed a great big mess. And all he said was, "Here I am. Send me. Count me in. God's got this." Amen.